Ariel has thingamabobs. I have makeup. She wanted legs, and I am gonna paint fish scales. After putting some moisturizer on my face and pinning my bangs out of the way, I took a makeup sponge and dabbed on some white cream makeup around my face. The only plan I had going into this was some sort of mermaid transformation. The original plan was to make the scales fade out around the edges, so using a different side of the makeup sponge, I added dark blue eyeshadow to the parts that were closer to the center of the white spots, or closer to my eye. Next, I added teal eyeshadow to the edges for the faded look. Using liquid eyeliner, I drew a few lines on either side of my neck to look like gills. I made the ones on the left side slightly smaller to look like they were just coming in as part of the transformation. Part of the original plan was to add seaweed or starfish somewhere, so I drew these bubbles with white cream makeup. In the end, I forgot about the extras and just left the bubbles. They didn't look bad, but they might have looked better coming from the corners of my mouth. Using some fishnet stockings that I cut in half, I placed them over the sections where I was going to place the scales. I used a clip to help hold it in place while I used silver eyeshadow and an eyeshadow sponge to add the color. This made the scales more iridescent and not as noticeable from far away or in certain lighting. If you want them to be more noticeable, you could use the fishnets before adding the dark blue and teal colors. With the white underneath, it would have a more noticeable contrast. Using the same blue eyeshadow from earlier, I added it to my crease and made a wing shape at the outside corner. With my finger, I just patted on some teal eyeshadow to my lids, and then used green lipstick for my lips. Then I decided that I wanted the eye makeup to look a little more green and added a shimmer green eyeshadow to my lids and blended the dark blue slightly onto my brow bone. Using black cream makeup, I outlined the sections of the scales because I decided that I didn't want the transformation to be a fade, but more of a ripped flesh look, and then I moved on to eyeliner and mascara. I'm used to painting in watercolor where I have to move around from one section to another, so I tend to do that with makeup looks like this as well. I only realized that I do this while making these videos. Going back to the torn flesh idea, I used red lipstick along the edges since it's the only makeup I have that's close to a dark blood color for the base. I use another makeup sponge to blend it out slightly. The black cream makeup helps to add a shadow for this step. Personally, I like the look of clean lines even though it looks less realistic, so I outlined everything with black eyeliner. You can skip this step or just outline certain sections with eyeliner to make it look more realistic. For some final touches, I used the lipstick again in a couple spots, and then a red cream makeup for more of a fresh blood appearance, and to have a bit more control on the sections I wanted to have dripping blood. For being my first attempt at some sort of mermaid look, I think this turned out pretty nice. I could have left it a little earlier just with the makeup without all of the lines, but it is getting closer to Halloween and I want it to be a little bit spooky. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, maybe even a comment down below. Share any of your own kind of makeup that you may have done or someone else's, things you like or ideas. I'd love to take a look at those. If you want to see other videos, they are linked around here. You can also subscribe to my channel. And I'm Crystal Campos. Thank you for joining me off air.